Everybody has questions on the table. So please, don't be shy, ask a question, okay?
Question on the table, I mean to write, can we just ask them,
You don't have to use the questions that we've suggested that are on the table. You can also ask your own.
could I start, Vincent? Vincent,
Yes.
Thank you. I'd like to address this question to our future judge, Agnes Patella. As much as there are many radical or progressive district attorneys all over the country who have released hardcore criminals, not even mentioning the ones released from Guantanamo Bay. What bothers me, there are about over 70 people who attended the January 6th rallies. These people are not even, cannot even make a, bails to bail them out. A lot of them do not have, a lot of money to represent them because it costs thousands of dollars to be represented. Is there anything that anyone can do at the DOJ department to help these people? All they did was attend a rally, and they've been incarcerated for almost 2 years. Thank you.
Sorry about that. We have equipment malfunction.
That's okay. Well, Auntie Dolly, the Department of Justice is a federal agency. The Clark County District Attorney's Office is a county agency, and so I work for them. And I know you know that, because we know each other. All I know about that is, what I think you're bringing up right now is the bail issue, okay? The federal system's bail system is different. It is a lot more stringent. It doesn't really rely on a cash bail system, which I actually prefer. In the federal court, they actually have really big, like full-blown hearings where they determine whether or not the individual's a flight risk, whether they have ties to the community that they're gonna be living in, whether they have a reason to stay, whether they have a reason to fly, for flight. They also take into consideration the criminal history of the individual, any people who would vouch for this person, and also the nature of the offense that they have committed, okay? And so as a judge, whether you're a federal judge or whether you're a county judge, like I'm running for, what you have to do is you have to take all of those things into consideration when you're making a decision. In the federal system, they are more on the, you're either held or you're released. Okay? In Clark County, currently, we have a cash bail system where they use the amount of bail to mitigate a person's incentive to run or to commit new crimes, because the way cash bail works is someone has to put money down or collateral down while they're vouching for you. And so it's a different type of system, but the analysis is the same. In federal court, in county court, which we have here, you have to take all of these factors into account and you balance it. And if you feel like this person is a danger to the community, which doesn't sound like if you're protesting, okay, versus a murder, okay? That person's a danger to the community. If someone, if it's a nonviolent offense, I would think that it would favor release without bail or something like that. But those are considerations that need to be taken into account, and I imagine they should have done that there. I don't know much about that particular case, but that's how it's analyzed down in state or county court.
thank you. Okay, next.
Come on, don't be shy.
So, I was just curious, do you support judicial reform in any capacity? I don't wanna lead you on any questions, but I see a lot of disparity between opinions in different courts. One court will be completely against something, appellate court completely for something.
What you're bringing up is a very important point, and that, I don't believe judges are in a position to, I don't think judges should inflict their very own personal opinions on any given issue or decision. Okay, we're all human beings, okay? You're gonna take your experience, you're going to take your life, and your goals and your morals and your values into account, absolutely. But you would hope that every single judge who gets elected, or every single judge would have that baseline, okay? What happened in Clark County during the elections in 2020, that kind of fell by the wayside. And a bunch of judges who were not qualified, or who were more on the road of being an activist while you're on the bench, were elected. And that was frustrating to me, because my number one concern as a prosecutor, as a mother, as a, someone who lives here and loves this place, is community safety. And so there's no place for judicial activism. What a judge needs to do is a judge needs to consider all of the factors before you, and you need to follow the law. That's all there is.
Number one.
Constitution.
You need to follow the Constitution, the law, all of that. And what we're finding now is there are judges who are basically looking us in the face and saying, well, I'm a judge, I'm gonna decide this, what are you gonna do about it? I'm not gonna follow the law. That's very frustrating. And so I love this organization. I just learned about it from Vincent a few days ago, because people need to be more informed. That's really how we're gonna reform the judicial system. We need a more informed electorate. People need to know, judges matter, and if you're frustrated with the way things are now, learn about it and vote.
I forgot that one thing. No, it's okay. How do you define a woman?
I hate to keep focusing on the future judge, but I wanted to piggyback on this. I think a lot of people in here know about the Chinatown shooter that was released. There was a newspaper article on it. He committed a bunch of felony crimes. He committed 2 crimes in 48 hours, and then he was set $3,000 bail, and the paper reported that a nonprofit organization bailed him out. The next thing you know, he's shooting up Chinatown. So how could something like that happen?
Case actually happened like a few weeks before I decided to run for judge. Because if there's a straw that breaks the camel's back, it's things like that. And when I told you earlier that I lived it, I am living it for the last 15 years while I've been a DA, it's so true. Things like that happen because there are, just gonna speak my mind, there are very liberal organizations that have put together a fund where now the public defender's office, my opponent, by the way, is a public defender, in their sex crimes unit. They have put together, these organizations have put together money where now the public defenders can call this organization, submit an application on behalf of their clients, and these organizations, without vetting the particular person, the way a judge would, okay, will just front the money. And so these people, these organizations have no skin in the game. They don't care if this person's gonna commit another crime. They don't care if this person's going to, go out and kill someone or commit 2 crimes in 48 hours. What they care about is just releasing everyone. And so the public defenders now have this at their disposal. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should be incarcerated and everyone should be held without bail. Because if you were an informed voter and you sat in the Las Vegas justice courts that I'm in, a lot of people get released. You steal from Walmart, okay. It's your first time, okay. You might not even get convicted of anything. We might give you a deal where you can seal your record, okay? What we're focusing on are violent crimes. And the frustration from my office, myself in particular, is we have these judges who will continue to release people despite the fact they are continuing to commit violent crimes. And that's exactly what happened with the Chinatown shooting. This person had a long criminal history, violent, and upon release, because this organization, this nonprofit organization posted his bail or his bond, he was released, and he was able to commit the crimes that he was subsequently arrested for.
Who's the judge?
Who was the judge, you know?
I believe it was Judge Joe Bonaventure. We have an arraignment court now in Las Vegas Justice Court, so there's a judge that is set to determine bail. And so I say Judge Bonaventure because he was sitting in initial arraignment court when that event occurred. His opponent is a DA, Danielle Piper. I would ask you to vote for her as well.